And wow, and everybody's so excited to see each other. I love that. Such a warm, friendly place. So I am so glad to be back home. So I think after a year I can call this home now. So I'm so glad to be back home. Yeah. Cindy and I had lots of adventures while we were in Florida. We met some fabulous people, and we are truly, truly blessed to have the support of this congregation in our own professional and spiritual development. So to be able to go and wander around with other people and hear some great music and meet some great people is always a wonderful experience. So Wednesday marked the beginning of our Lenten season. And for those of you that were with us Wednesday night, we celebrated Ash Wednesday with the imposition of the ashes. So I just thought we would do a little Bible trivia this morning. So where in the Bible do you find Lent?
Nowhere.
That's right, nowhere. So Lent didn't actually come on the scene till 313 AD during the Council of Nicaea. So long after Jesus walked the earth, right? Long time after that. And it was originally called Tessara Canta, which is a word that I've been practicing for 4 years now, and I still can't say it very well. It's Greek for 40. And it's believed that the Nicene Creed, the Nicene Council, put that into place based on the verse in Matthew, chapter 4, verses 1 and 2. Then Jesus was led by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. After fasting 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry. So here's another Bible trivia for you. What do Moses, Elijah, and Jesus have in common? Any guesses? All of them fasted and prayed for
40 days.
40 days. Absolutely. So you know, the Bible writers were pretty smart men and women, I believe. And what we know from Bible scholars is that numbers represent ideas, particularly when you see them over and over again. And the number 40 appears in the Bible 106 times. So it's in there a lot. And it's what scholars call a four-square number. Now, in Colorado, they have four-square churches. They may have them in Indiana, but I saw them when I lived in Colorado. Four-square is a foundation. So you have to have a foundation in order to move into a new place. So with 40 days, the 40 days represents whatever it takes in us to establish firm footing and prepare ourselves to move into something different, to be transformed. In the case of Moses, after 40 days, he received the 10 Commandments. Elijah, the prophet, went up to Mount Horeb and heard the voice of God and came back and began to prophesy. Jesus, after 40 days of fasting, started his public ministry where he healed the sick, he raised the dead, and he reminded us of our divine identity. And so I wonder, this Lenten season, if you're willing to be transformed. And what might happen if you spent 40 days dedicated to your own spiritual awakening. How that might change for you. It might actually be like a wow moment, right? To work on 40 days of fasting and to step into this new and different place. One of the things that I know is that when we fast, when we let go of certain things, it opens us up to new experiences. And as Cindy and I were sitting on the dock of Clearwater Beach, we were having a discussion about Lent, and she said, you know, I think Lent means let everything go that's not truth. Let everything go that's not truth. Because when we let it go, it creates a space for us to be right here, right now. Wayne Dyer said, be here now. Right? And when we're in that now moment, we have the opportunity to live expansively as the new truth that we are. So to me, Lent prepares us for a time of living expansively as the new truth that we are. It prepares us for the wow of now. So this morning, are you ready to step into the now of wow?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah? If so, say wow.
Wow.
That wasn't very good. If you want to step into the wow of now, say
Wow.
Oh, that was much better. And here to wow us even further is our dear Cindy Harvey.
All right.
Here I am, telling my story, floundering in my pain. Then through my tears, I hear my heart singing a love song, beckoning me. Are you willing to give up the stories? Are you willing to lay down the pen? Are you willing to let go the struggle and to know? And to know your Here I am, remembering again that I have come here for joy. So quiet,
Are you willing? Are you willing to walk in the wilderness? Lent is an invitation for us to join Jesus in the wilderness and to face our devils. Are you willing to walk in the wilderness? Are you willing to open the altar of your heart so that healing and transformation can take place? And are you willing to welcome the present moment, no matter how it's dressed up? Are you willing? Our Lenten journey begins with the first step, which is willingness. Willingness to walk in the wilderness. The wilderness of your mind. You know, our third principle informs us that we create our experiences by the thoughts we hold in mind, both individually and collectively. And so if we want to be transformed, we have to be willing to walk in the wilderness of our mind. Now, my sponsor once said to me, Glenda, your mind is a dangerous neighborhood. You shouldn't go up there alone, and definitely not without a flashlight. People are laughing, so you must understand that. Charles Fillmore described the wilderness as all of those thoughts that are uncultivated and undisciplined. Now, you know, our minds are always working. Our thoughts are always thinking. But about 80% of the time, we're totally unaware of that. And so part of walking in the wilderness is a willingness to begin questioning your thoughts. To go up in the neighborhood with a flashlight. And maybe a trusted friend, but definitely a flashlight. And to begin looking at the thoughts that you're holding in mind that are keeping you from living expansively as the truth that you are. What's holding you back? What's holding you down? And are you willing to walk through the wilderness and let go of it? Letting go of everything that is not truth. What are the thoughts that you're holding that are not true? That I'm unworthy, I'm unlovable, I'm not enough, there isn't enough. These are the thoughts that keep us from living expansively now as the truth that we are. As Jesus walked through the wilderness, he was tempted by the devil. So, despite what you've been taught, I haven't seen any little red figures with fork tails and pitchforks lately. But yet I know plenty about devils. According to Charles Fillmore in The Revealing Word, the devil is a state of consciousness adverse to divine good. So it is those states of consciousness that keep us from recognizing the blessings in our life. Now, if you're not sure what the devils are in your life, let me point out a few of my favorites. The first one is everybody hates me. The whole world is against me. I am a victim. Now, I know no one but me in this room ever does that. Then the other one is, I decree that it shall be done my way, for my way is the only right way. Better known as the judge. And then, of course, there's the critic. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a -1, don't you? Hubert, or Siebert, whatever those guys were. You know, I found some flaws there. You know, her hair wasn't parted just right. I noticed her pants were a little long, and she never wears shoes. It's disturbing. The critic. the critic that is alive and well in all of us. While I was in Florida, Reverend Cynthia Alice down in Orlando said to us, if you don't like what's happening in Washington, if you don't like what you're reading on the front page of the newspaper, look at your consciousness. Because what she said was, everything that we see out here is a reflection of everything that's unhealed in here. It's everything that's unhealed within us. That's our devil. So if we want to change the consciousness of the world, we have to begin by healing our own wounds. We have to begin by addressing where we are. And an amazing thing happens when that happens. So I start to move out of that victim consciousness into a higher consciousness. And then you start to heal. And then you start to look at where you're being judgmental. And you start to look at where you're critical. And we begin to change. And as we begin to change, it creates a momentum. And eventually that momentum is big enough and strong enough that we can't help but change the world. But it starts with our own inner work. You see, Lent is also a time for us to shine the light of Source in those dark places, those crawl spaces, those recesses of our very own soul that are calling for healing. Because it is only when we heal ourselves that we can heal the world. And so we have to walk in the wilderness of our minds, changing our minds. And we have to be willing to heal ourselves, to heal those states of consciousness that are our devils. And any of us that have ever been plagued by our past know those devils that torment us. But Lent is a time for letting go of everything that's not true. And the truth is, you are not a victim, you are not a judge, you are not a critic, you're not a condemner. The truth is that you are light. You are the light of God. And you've been put here to shine, to live expansively now as the truth of that light. That's why you're here. Letting go of everything that is not truth. So Jesus walked in the wilderness and he faced the devil and he fasted for 40 days. This is an opportunity for you to fast from the things that are not true. In a couple of weeks, we're going to be studying Keep a True Lent by Charles Fillmore, which is his metaphysical interpretation of the process of transforming and renewing our minds. And in the foreword to that, Georgina Tree West talks about the spiritual meaning of fasting. And she writes, to observe Lent according to the Spirit rather than the letter, we must fast from criticism and condemnation and feast on brotherly love. Fast from beliefs in sickness and weakness and feast on the truth of God's omnipresence. Perfect life. Fast from false beliefs and lack and limitation and feast on the truth of God's bountiful good will. In that way, Lent is just like the ocean I visited. It ebbs and it flows, just like the seasons change. Lent is a time of releasing and a time of receiving. What are you willing to fast from this Lent? And what are you willing to feast on? So let's practice that, because I believe practice creates transformation. In your bulletin, you got a little card when you came through the door. If you do not, Amanda, hold yours up. If you do not have one of these, I'm sure the ladies will find one for you. So not raise your hand, and the ladies will bring you a little card. And if you have a card, I'm going to encourage you to fill that out right now, because we're going to take that into meditation. So we have a couple more up here. She's got a couple more. Helen, Judy, and Jane don't have one. Perfect.
Thank you.
All right. So just take a minute and think about what you are willing to fast from and feast on. Does anyone else need a card? Okay, everybody's good. All right, so I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath in. Let's do some releasing. Another deep breath in. Another exhale. One more deep breath in. Close your eyes, or at least look down at your knees so you're not distracted. And just breathe in to this moment. So we breathe in, we breathe out. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, I am releasing whatever it is that you're releasing. And then breathe in whatever it is you choose to focus on. I am peace. I release judgment. Peace. Breathe out and release. Breathe in. Breathe in. Just imagine with every breath that you are releasing and letting go. And with every in-breath, you are receiving that which you choose to focus on. I am the two most powerful words in the universe. I am releasing. I am receiving. And as we become still, open your hearts and allow yourself to receive that which you have asked for.
trying to say what